Hello and welcome to another shave. Today this video is an extension of a video that Jacques at Dapper Shaves just did on using low angle to get better comfort and fewer cuts and nicks in your shave. I thought I would, I agree with everything he said, and I thought I would basically say the same thing but using my own words, my own approach, so that there's just more information out there for anybody who's interested in this. I'm going to be doing the shave. The first pass, I'll be just doing a two-pass shave, which is pretty normal for me. But the first pass I'll be doing with a DE razor, double-edged razor. This one has a Gillette platinum blade in it. I'm not particular about blades. I use the feather a lot. Yeah, I use the feather professional a lot. Um, to me, it doesn't matter too much, and a lot of that has to do with learning to control the edge on the blade. The reason I'm starting with a double edge razor is my hope is that anybody who's gotten into wet shaving as a hobby and is currently steeped in the double edge adventure will eventually think about how to extend their experience with double edged razors into straight razors. Uh, for most of us who are regular straight razor shavers, we're going to tell you that once you make that change, you're probably never going back. Let's talk a little bit about the double-edged razor and about low-angle shaving. The double-edged razor has a cap, and a safety bar. The amount of exposure that you get, let's see if I can actually show this. The amount of exposure that you get now this is an adjustable razor, and if you're interested in this stuff, I urge you to get an adjustable razor so you can play with it. But the exposure, as I adjust the razor, you can hopefully see the edge moving in and out. I'm going to set this one goes from 1 to 9. I'm setting this one at 7. When you're first starting out with this, you probably want to start lower. The goal, as you move the edge out, you get more edge feel. But the way a safety razor works is you have a cap and you have a safety bar. And if you put the two, you can generally very easily feel the two against your face. With less exposure, you can use a lot of pressure, and you won't hurt yourself. With more exposure, the more pressure you use, the more likely you are to cut and abrade yourself. So how do you shave and prevent that? Well, what you want to do for low angle shaving is to favor the angle that's nearer the cap, and to learn to land lightly, and then have the idea of just skimming the edge over the skin without much pressure. When you're starting this, you're probably going to get crap shaves, but that's okay. They will come. I can get a full-on BBS shave with 2 passes. And the reason I can is not so much low angle shaving, but I figured out how to cut the hairs at low angle shaving to achieve that kind of efficiency. So getting back, you want to favor the cap, and you want to land lightly, and then think of skimming right across the skin with the edge just on the skin, cutting hair and not taking away much skin. What will help in all of that, or what's actually essential in all of that, is a really, really good slick layer of lather. And let's just start to build that. Now the reason I'm not talking about specific angles is that you need to um, maintain, you need to find the feel for this and not necessarily think about a particular angle value. And the reason you need to feel for this is that your skin, everybody's face shape is different, our skin is different, our beard is different, and you need to you need to figure out how to get that feel by following the contour. So landing lightly, skimming across the beard, and learning how to manipulate the razor to maintain that low angle as you maneuver about the face is really what you're trying to achieve. Not, am I at 15 degrees here? Am I at 15 degrees here? Am I at 15 degrees here? You want that feel. The razor's going to be moving, and it's very difficult and awkward to stop and adjust. You want to learn to get the feel of simply making those micro movements as you shave, and amazingly you can do this. Today the soap doesn't have a label on it. Well, actually it does. The puck does, but I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. It's Floris 89 is the soap. The brush I'm using is an Elite razor with a Coca-Cola handle and a 24 millimeter Badger High Mountain White. Let's get going. I'm doing a lot of talking here. I'm going to do the second pass with a straight razor. I'll show you the straight razor when I get to that. So all I'm doing now is loading from the puck. It doesn't matter how you build your lather. A lot of people bowl lather, favor that method. I favor face lathering and loading from the puck. An element that I think is necessary to all shaving, but especially for skimming across the skin, is a lot of moisture. I'm going to pause for a second. I just realized I need to set up my towel system. All right, towels are us. My preference, to starting with a very, very wet beard and wet skin. Also, slick beard and slick skin is to simply use a pre-shave made from the lather of the soap as I load it. And so that enhances my ability to skim the very edge of the blade along the skin without it catching. I want to only feel beard. I don't want to feel skin. And another aspect to that is skin stretching. And the goal of skin stretching is to simply create a smooth surface for the blade to run across, so you don't catch the blade. Let it cut hair, not skin. This Floris London lather is certainly not a modern artisan lather. but it's workable. Okay. I like to outline the area that I'm going to shave. It helps with orientation of the blade and make sure that I'm doing everything consistently. Okay, so even with a DE razor, I'm stretching, and I'm also, to help flatten out the cheek, doing a little of this. And so I'm on the slightly on the cap, using the feel. Feel of the edge to simply cut skin and not hair. Same thing. Oh, I also suggest, if you're a DE razor just getting into the wet shaving hobby, learn to shave with both hands. Let's just face it, you're going to do it. When you transition to straight razor shaving, um, being able to use both hands to shave and to have feel in both hands for this, because notice I'm landing softly and then finding that angle and then skimming the blade across my face. Now, as I said at first, you're probably going to get poor shaves because your instinct in the areas where your beard is thicker, your instinct is to push harder and to rotate into with the blade more against the skin. That's for a couple of reasons. When you have the blade oriented at a more obtuse angle to the skin, you can actually feel the stubble better, but it doesn't cut better necessarily. There are instances where actually a more vertical blade does cut better, but I'll get into that later. The As you get experience with landing lightly, you'll know right away whether you've landed a little steep or not. Okay, I have a pretty terrific first pass. Let's get to the second one. Lathering, I suggest that you don't worry about, a voluminous Santa Claus-like lather, but focus again on one that is wet and slick. If you're unsure whether it's wet enough, add water. If you're still unsure, add water. Once you think it's right, add water. And pretty soon, you'll get an idea for really what a sloppy wet lather is. And you won't need to mess with it. A thin lather is fine, especially for straight razor shaving, which we are about to do. Okay, I'm going to be using my Friodur. This is the 472 with the bling. You got to have bling. There you go. There's a little bling on the spine. This is stainless steel razor made by Henckels. And again, I'm actually coming in fairly vertically, but I'm going to, as soon as I land softly, I'm rotating based on feel. Into a very low angle cutting motion. And that's the other thing. You're cutting when you're moving. So, that's why it's not necessarily practical to stop and check your angle or try to measure your angle based on the spine width. I strongly urge you to try to get the feel of this. Getting your skin stretched so it's a reasonably smooth surface that you're shaving. And then sliding the razor at a very shallow angle across that surface. At first you'll get crap shaves, but as I did when I really started concentrating on this. But, let's see, what am I doing? But as you develop the feel, not only will your shaves improve dramatically, but cuts, nicks, and irritation will reduce tremendously as well. Something with a straight razor that you'll need to learn to do is to adjust, tiny hand adjustments in rotating the razor this way, and also in rotating the yaw and roll, so that you're getting the right part of the blade onto the skin that you're trying to shave. Now here I have like a cavity, so I have to come in, roll in, and then roll out. That's just me. You're going to have your own challenges that you simply have to solve. But again, these are not insurmountable challenges. If the rest of us who are just normal people If we can do this, you can do this. And the payoff, aside from, you know, the being nice to your skin and not having to always heal from some cut or some irritation, then your shave becomes a really enjoyable start to your day, break in your day, you know, whenever you shave. It becomes an enjoyable event. And then there's the whole hobby is just open to you. You've got razors that you can collect, soaps, brushes, etc. I do it all because I like to spend more for things. Now stretching, which again, I suggest you do regardless of the razor. You want to stretch enough to create a good surface to run the razor across, um, uh, but no more. You don't need to overstretch. Sometimes that'll actually cause the hairs to retract. Um, and again, you'll get the feel for it. You can feel around on your face. Oh, before anything else, of course, I didn't mention this. I think most of us take it for granted that the very first thing you need to know um, is how your hair grows on your face. Uh, Barber Dave, who, by the way, is an expert, being a barber and having something like 6,000 straight razor shaves, which works out, if you do the math, to approaching 20 years of daily shaving. Um, so let's see, I don't know whether I have anything else to share on the subject of angles. Jacques went into a description of angles on the actual blade itself, the bevel angle. I'm going to go in other videos, I'm going to be boring you tremendously with a lot of math that relates to that. But the simple answer is if you get a good quality 6/8, if you're starting and you have a good quality 6/8 razor like a Thierry Sayre or a Ralph Aust, or an older vintage razor that has a good Soligen or Sheffield steel, and the razor geometry is in good shape, you're probably fine on bevel angle. There are cases where you're not, and that's for a honing video, which trust me, I'll do. Yeah, I think that's it. I've rinsed. I have a terrific BBS shave, really nice BBS shave. Maybe I'll do DE followed by straight all the time. My aftershave is Floris 89. This is an alcohol-based aftershave. I've been shaving a long time. My skin, although it may not look like it, is pretty leathery from many years of shaving daily. And also many years of using an alcohol-based aftershave. So this, for me, has zero sting anywhere. The wonderful scent of Floris 89, which is really nostalgic. It has a 60s, 50s and 60s vibe to it, which, you know, works for me. Works for me. But zero sting. With alcohol splashes, if there's no zero sting, then you feel the alcohol quickly drying as it hits the skin and leaves the fragrance. And it's doing some antiseptic action as well. Okay, long video. I apologize. I've talked a long time. I hope it's helpful. Definitely leave me comments and questions if you have any, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. As a quick follow-up, something that I forgot to mention before, if you really want to see great shaving technique, go watch Jacques at Aftershave. Watch him shave. He's an educator in this. I'm not. And also watch Barber Dave, a barber, and watch Gary Haywood. Gary Haywood uses an angle. His camera angle is such that you can easily see him landing very gently and skimming the blade across the surface. Okay, now I'm really gone.